So hippopotamus have tusks, not horns. I was with a group of school-age children, and a quarrel broke out among them because one of the older siblings said that hippopotamus have tusks, and he is a young boy who prides himself on being scientific and knowing things, his knowledge, and he's the oldest of the siblings. And one of the younger kids in the family said, no, they have tusks, they don't have horns. And it turned into a quarrel that had been a really lovely, lovely gathering, and now there were hurt feelings because they Googled it, found out the answer, everyone knew who was right and who was wrong, there was embarrassment, and there had really been pride involved in holding on to their truth. And I was so aware of how quarreling or disagreements, even on things that don't really matter like that, there is one truth. I mean, they have tusks, not horns. But even on things that can be minor, these quarrels, these disagreements, these different opinions, these feelings of division can ruin lives, or at least derail them. They can derail happy gatherings, they can derail relationships and environments and meetings. And yes, even the essence of who we are, if we get stuck becoming a quarrelsome personality. We can just be like porcupines with quills everywhere we go, and we can push people away. We can irritate even ourselves. I've always recognized that if we're with people who may feel toxic to us, what happens is we don't like ourselves because we don't like how we respond. We feel ourselves bristle. We hear our tone of voice. We become difficult. We become quarrelsome. And so it's not only everyone around us that may not like us, we don't like ourselves when we're like that. We like ourselves when we're lifting others up, inspiring, making people better, making others feel good about themselves. What is that saying? People won't necessarily remember what you say or how you act. They will remember how you made them feel. So we have to remember, disagreement does not mean dislike. Different opinions do not mean disrespect. We have this story in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 from the Apostle Paul. And you know, we talked about last week how he heard that there was division, there were things going on, and people were on different sides of issues. And he was so grieved because he had begun this wonderful community. And now some were saying, well, you know, I got baptized by Paul, and I got baptized by Apollos, and I got baptized by Cephas. And others were saying, you know, well, I belong to the person that I got baptized by. I belong, some of them were saying, to Christ. And Paul was saying to them, we all belong to Christ. We're all part of Christ's community. He was trying to bring them back together to get their priorities straight. I think about how we can break it down to priorities, and if we could let the quarreling that divides, especially the quarreling over details. So I want you to think about, if you're in a committed relationship, a marriage, something that you've committed yourself to for long term, that we have to keep that as priority. So that would be parents with kids, that would be family, extended family, that would certainly be love. We want to be able to prioritize. I want to be on the same team with this person or with this group or with these people. So I am going to commit myself not to get quarrelsome about the details. I'm going to speak my opinion, but I'm going to try to tune in and realize if I'm getting upset or if I'm feeling put down or if I'm feeling condescending towards someone else. Because if we can always keep our priorities straight, our number one priority as Christians is we're following Jesus Christ. So we want to look at everything we're doing and examine it in our lives, every second, every moment, every day, every year, and say, am I embodying the love of Christ? Am I seeing everyone around me for who they are? Am I caring about them as human beings, as individuals? And pretty soon we can take it from not getting in a fight that divides us in our marriage because we keep our marriage first, to we can be really committed to our family instead of walking away from our family, and then we can broaden our circles. And pretty soon we can realize that we're not quarrelsome. We're always a presence of peace wherever we are.